A real threat to marriage equality looms over Alaska. In 2015, the Supreme Court released its Obergefell v. Hodges decision guaranteeing marriage equality in the USA. But this might soon change. Army National Guard officer Andrew Gray has written an article in The Advocate talking about the threat to marriage equality that looms over Alaska. Andrew has decided to run for the Alaska State House. He will become the first openly gay man to serve in the Alaska legislature if elected. In the article, he mentions, quote, "Although my husband and I had signed domestic partnership papers before I was commissioned, the military would only honor a federally recognized marriage as a qualification for spousal benefits. So in 2015, when the Supreme Court released its Obergefell v. Hodges decision guaranteeing marriage equality, we married. This meant that while I was deployed with the Army to Kosovo in 2019, my husband and son, whom we had just adopted from the foster system, received all the family benefits they were entitled to," end quote. However, with the fall of Obergefell v. Hodges, same-sex marriage would instantly be undone, leaving people with many questions about their marriage, property, asset possession, parenthood, insurance, etc. Alaska is one of 4 U.S. states with 0 LGBTQ+ state lawmakers, despite the vibrant LGBTQ+ community. We can't underestimate the threat that is happening right now, because Clarence Thomas has already said he wants to go after Obergefell, which was gay marriage. He wants to go after
Lawrence v. Texas.
Well, Lawrence v.
Windsor.
Texas too, but I can't remember the name of the one specifically with contraception.
Yeah, that's
Griswold, Connecticut.
Griswold, thank you. It's a movie reference I should have known. You know, they're coming after us. Yeah. They are coming after us.
Well, he cites the Obergefell decision, but that wouldn't have actually applied to his case because he was a federal employee. So when Windsor came in, that struck down Defense of Marriage Act, which means that the federal government has to recognize marriage whether your state does or not, as long as you got legally married in a state that recognizes it. So that would have been his thing. So there's a lot of court cases that would have to go. They would have to go over. So he's kind of getting out over his skis because I mean, Clarence Thomas mentioned it, but what gets to the heart of this is that in the lame duck, there's going to be a vote to legalize or to always make sure federal marriages are recognized at the federal level. It would basically codify what Windsor did, so the Supreme Court couldn't knock it down.
And the Respect for Marriage Act, though, requires states to recognize marriages that are performed in other states, but I'm not actually 100% sure if that makes it legal on a federal level, because they're giving the autonomy to the states. They're not putting a federal mandate.
But the federal government would still recognize it. So like the Army person could get benefits even if he's living in Alaska, where suddenly marriage doesn't exist anymore.
But prior to Obergefell versus Hodges, there were states where marriage was legal, like Massachusetts, and federally it wasn't recognized for tax reasons and things like that.
It was after 2013. That was the Windsor. So there was like a 2-year gap in there, but Windsor would be the controlling case in this particular candidate's.
But I do possibly see issues with the Supreme Court reassessing some of these decisions, though, should Obergefell versus Hodges fall, even with the Respect for Marriage Act. It's a whole mess. It needs to be codified into the Constitution, and that's pretty much what needs to happen to protect rights. The Equality Act needs to pass.
For sure. LGBTQ plus news is vital for our community and for the broader world as a whole. We have enough enemies at Fox News. Tucker, Sean, and Laura are loud. We need passionate allies. Happening Out Television Network, Queer News Tonight, and It's Happening Out are literally out of the closet and into the headlines. Our community needs your support. Like this broadcast and subscribe now to ensure the growth of the entire LGBTQ plus community.